Pisces, the energy I'm picking up for you today is a little bit heavier, a little bit denser than it usually is when I read for you. I have an intuitive feeling this has something to do with Mercury retrograde. Now, Mercury retrograde can bring up all sorts of hidden thoughts and hidden feelings, get us to review past mercurial things that we have been maybe avoiding or we've glossed over or we thought were resolved. So mercurial things can be communications, but it also can be the mind, the way we're mentally projecting our energy into the world, as well as the mental projections of others that we come across. And this is what I got for you, is that there's some kind of hidden feeling or unspoken thoughts that are rising to the surface right now. This might be your own, or it could be someone around you. Someone could be a little bit off, quieter than usual. There could be an encounter with Capricorn energy. Maybe this is the Capricorn full moon. It doesn't have to be a person, but there's something almost very Saturnian that you're coming up against that feels a little bit off-putting. It's almost like a downer in a sense, but the energy's here for you to review something very important in your life, and that has to do with connection and not having your needs met fully. Okay, so this could be a specific message. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. I also have another message coming through about an exciting project, so we're going to get to that too. But the core here of the energy that I'm picking up on is that your needs really aren't being met. And it could be by someone else, or it could be by yourself. You know, you're not meeting your own needs, or maybe it's the environment around you, the world around you. I'm not sure. Your family, your friends. I don't know what it is for everyone. But recognizing that might be a little bit difficult, because it's kind of a, now what do I do? What do I do about this? My needs not being met. How do I meet them? Or can so-and-so ever really fulfill that part of my life that I'm looking to move towards, I'm hearing. So I don't know if you're having something like an argument or a standstill with someone, but it could be the case that this arises, okay? It doesn't have to be, but it could be. I also got that you could really use a vacation, and some of you are already planning for one. But this is a vacation where you should seek more sun, okay? More sunshine will be good for you all over, for your aura, for your energy, for your health, for your growth, for your mental clarity, for your whole life, okay? More sunshine, but it's like a vacation. You need some time away from a certain environment. Okay, some of you need to offload some responsibilities, whether this is caring for children, animals, or work obligations. You need to offload some of that to other people just for a few days, if you can, and get away. This seems very important because this mercurial heavy energy I'm picking up on is something you really need to work through. It's not going to just disappear on its own, at least not until Mercury leaves retrograde, okay? Or goes direct, I should say. So I also got the word wolf, and then I wrote down 333, and then I felt guided to put an exclamation mark in the middle. And this immediately, after I finished writing all this, reminded me of a password. I don't know, maybe it is someone's password. I don't know. But it feels to me that the wolf represents independence and also being able to run with a pack. And we got the card connectivity for you, so we're going to talk about that. But there's a solo kind of energy that you're tapping into. It's kind of the password, right? It's your access to the next gateway, to the next timeline, to the next cycle. The password is being excited about some kind of solo project. I almost wanted to say soul. Maybe it's a soul project, an artistic project, something that's been mustering up inside of you, I'm getting. Mustard seed you planted. Interesting. Okay. And then the 333 was coming through to me as kind of a master teacher number, that you're going to be ultimately facilitating something with whatever it is that you are excited to create. And I wrote down, it's time to think bigger, grander, much larger. Some project that you're wanting to get into, even if it's a knitting project, or maybe it's something much bigger like running a course, whatever it is, you need to think bigger about it. And it's just about thinking bigger. When you expand your thoughts, you'll see more possibilities, and then you can kind of cull it down to something more manageable. But think big. Where could you go with this? What could you do with this? Because the other card I got for you was Spirit of the River, movement toward adventure. And that's definitely what the energy is calling you to do, is to move towards some kind of soul and solo adventure. But on this solo adventure, there is an opportunity to connect with others, the jeweled web. But it starts off kind of as a solo project. I can't shake the feeling, okay? So if it doesn't resonate for you, that's okay. But I can't shake the feeling that there's someone or a group of people around you who are kind of dragging you down in some sense, okay? Hidden feelings, unspoken thoughts. It's kind of a bummer. And I feel like this solo adventure, this movement towards your exciting project is what is going to reconnect you in this jeweled web of life, where you meet others who boost your energy. Okay, so some of you are going to go away to some kind of conference or some kind of retreat or some residency of some sort. There's somewhere that it's like a vacation in a way. Okay, there's important connections there. There's lots of adventure. So let's get further into your reading and see what's going on for you, Pisces. It could be the case that you are looking for a password, or you're going to come across a password. Okay, so let's see the energy supporting you. And this other energy I'm picking up on that's kind of bringing you down, or it's like disappointing. It's very strong. I feel myself trying to avoid talking about that because there is something so exciting here, but it's here. It's in your energy. I feel guided to pull one of these. Let me just see what this is all about. This card just flew right out. Movement, quick decisions, and progress, the Rider. And it feels like somebody who kind of just, like they're freezing up in some way. Maybe things were moving quickly before, and now there seems to be some kind of standstill. Let's see. What is this disappointing energy for Pisces that I'm feeling here? What's disappointing here? Time, planning, making decisions, taking risks, uncover, nostalgia, sentimentality, and memory, and blood moon, illusion, uncertainty, and narcissism. Yeah, there's something here where you've given it a lot of thought, you've given it a lot of time, and now some uncertainty is rising up, and it feels like this is something that you weren't really wanting to think about, or it wasn't there, and like you couldn't see it before. Something that has now happened, there's been a turn, and it's in the energy. It's probably astrological. Like the energy has turned, it's flipped a little bit so that you can see the other side of something. And you have some questions here about what's real and what's not real. Is something good for you, or is it not good for you? Is this the time? Yeah. So I'm going to leave that there. There's a lot of Scorpio kind of energy here, and Sagittarius too, I'm feeling. It feels like you're at a fork in the road, actually. So let's see what we get for you for your supportive energy, Pisces. The energy supporting Pisces right now. Energy supporting Pisces, Spirit. We have the Fool in reverse, recklessness. Decadence, the Universe in reverse. Setbacks with the Page of Wands in reverse. And ambition, Page of Swords in reverse. Yes, this is what I'm feeling. It's like things have been moving along, and maybe they've been going fine, or there's been some hiccups here and there, but it hasn't been unmanageable. You've been able to deal with things. Now the energy flips and all of a sudden you have all of these questions, or you're starting to feel uncomfortable about something. There's some kind of setback, or it feels like maybe you're making a reckless decision. Should I do this? Should I actually continue this? Or should I stop this? Or is this right for me? It could also be the case that you're witnessing someone around you take some kind of reckless actions that you're worried are going to cause some setbacks for you. So this is the energy supporting you. So what's supporting you here is your awareness that something could go off the rails here, or that you haven't been seeing something exactly clearly. And I don't think that's any fault of your own. I think what you haven't been seeing clearly hasn't come up to the surface until now. Like, it's been hidden, whether you were hiding it or someone else. So let's see the challenge. Balancing act with Two of Pentacles. It says priorities on this card. I'm going to get two more. The Star in reverse, and it says disappointment. Yeah, that's the feeling. Unstoppable, Knight of Swords. Three of Swords in reverse, relief, and attainment with the Knight of Buttons. Yeah, there's something here you've been working on or progressing with. Things have been moving along. You know, we're doing this and now we're doing that. We're putting the puzzle pieces in place. And then something happens. So one of those pieces is a little jagged and it doesn't fit exactly. And you're like, what's going on? I was almost about to complete this puzzle I've been working on forever. And now these pieces are suddenly not fitting. It's like, so when did that happen? And there's a little bit of disappointment because maybe I'm not going to finish this puzzle after all. Or something's not going to be perfect the way I anticipated. So something kind of goes off the rails here. A plan kind of gets kiboshed in a way. I don't mean literally, like I'm not seeing literally something happens, like some money doesn't come through or somebody, you know, like I'm not seeing any like actions that happen or events, but I'm seeing thoughts and feelings come up that start to get you to question a certain plan or somebody's intentions towards you, it could be. So you're balancing this disappointing energy with also this other energy that things are already in motion though. Like, how can I stop it now? It's already coming through. It's already happening, Knight of Swords. And there is a promise here. It's very complicated, this reading, because there is a promise or there is a potential in whatever was going forward to bring you some kind of relief and for you to attain that relief. But it's almost like, and again, I'm not blaming you because it's kind of energetic what's going on, right? It's not that you had a blind spot that you refused to look at, but it's like you had these rose-colored glasses on, which kind of makes it sound like your fault, but maybe this is what you're kind of wrestling with. Is this my fault? Should I have seen this earlier? But it's like you were going down this path and it's like, yeah, okay, that's a little challenging, but I'm going to still move forward and everything's kind of going and there's a goal at the end and I see the vision and so is with me or whatever. And then all of a sudden you take your glasses off to kind of clean them, you know, wipe away the smudges. And all of a sudden, something's starting to look a little different. And you're like, what's going on here? That's the feeling. And I feel, Spirit, I'm seeing someone hand you a new pair of glasses. I don't know. And they're really cool. And you put those on and you see a pathway to some kind of adventure. A different adventure. It doesn't mean you have to abandon whatever this is, but there is something important that needs to be tackled and dealt with when it comes to some hidden feelings and unspoken thoughts. And your unmet needs. I think that's what you're really seeing. This house, this project, this career path, this book I'm writing, this tour I'm going on, or whatever, you know, this relationship. There's something here that I'm settling for. And it's making me feel real weird now about what's going on. That's what I'm seeing. Okay? Could be that there's someone pretty selfish around you and you're beginning to see that. Let's get one more for the support. Delegation, 10 of Wands. This is what I was saying. Some of you need to delegate, give some responsibility up to some others around you so you can focus on some solo adventure that reconnects you to your soul purpose. Some of you are taking on all the responsibility. Okay, you're doing everything. You're doing all the work. And it's bringing you stress, burnout, and it's also shouldering you with a lot of responsibility. And I feel as though you're seeing into the future and like, I'm going to have to carry this weight. I'm going to have to repress my feelings. I'm going to have to not talk about that, or I'm going to have to do all the work or all the planning. You know, there's something here where there's a lack of reciprocity or mutual vision. There's not a mutual vision here. Possibility, 7 of Cups, wishful thinking, confusion. There's many different things that like mutual vision would be like an Ace of Cups, unified, one, right? 7 of Cups is all these different kind of visions, all these different choices. So something needs to be decided here, for sure. Okay, Pisces, you with me still? Let's see, this is a harder one, but it's clear, the message. But it is a harder one. Because you're faced with some decision. You're faced with some feelings like, what happened to yesterday, I'm hearing. Something with a vault, I'm hearing a vault. Hold on. The letter R. I also got the letter D. But it's like someone just turned around. 6 of Air, turned around. This is you and your overall energy. 6 of Air. This is moving to calmer waters in your mind. And even though this doesn't look like calmer waters, you know, this all this stuff coming up, all these feelings of setbacks, and is this too decadent, or what's regressing here? Am I stagnating? Am I being reckless? All of this stuff, right? That's coming up. That seems like rough waters, but it's like you kind of have to go over these rapids to get to the calm river, spirit of the river. The spirit of the river creates these rapids that you need to navigate in order to get to that calm place, right? The rapids tell you, hey, this direction, there might be a waterfall and I'm going to go over the cliff here and I'm going to have to navigate these rapids and go over to the calmer water instead. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So you're already in the rapids. I don't know why this is coming through so strongly, this vision. But now you see it before the waterfall. And now you can steer yourself to the calmer water. But you have to navigate the rapids first. You can't act like they're not there. Okay. It's kind of like somebody's throwing a wrench in your plans, but it's with emotions or thoughts or just something, some weird energy. You're just picking up on something here. There's also a question of commitment. Is somebody really committed in the same way you are to a project, to a goal, to a relationship, to spirituality? You know, I don't know what it is for all of you, but there's like a question of commitment. Thought we were on the same page. Turns out we may be in a different book. 6 of Earth. So, see, I feel like you're seeing, in order to keep the balance in whatever this situation is, I'm going to have to do all the giving. Okay, let's get in a little further here, Pisces. 6 of Air for your overall energy. Tell me what's going on here. I'm seeing these bleeding hearts, flowers. You may see those, come across those. And I do feel like you've put a lot out on the table. You know, you've really explored something, given something a really good effort here. This is why it's so disappointing. Rebellion, the Hierophant in reverse. There's something calling inside of you for this movement toward adventure. But you gotta pick the right adventure. Is the adventure the white water rafting to the calm water? Or is the adventure the white water rafting down the waterfall? Like, how extreme do you want to go here? Because the waterfall feels like you're having this kind of insight, foresight, intuition, like, uh-oh, something might go, maybe this isn't it. Maybe this is, I don't know, something's off here. Yeah. Interesting. It's weird how it's coming through. Because I feel like whatever this is started off as kind of an adventure for you. Creativity. And now it's kind of turned unpredictable in a way that brings up anxiety, not excitement. I don't know if this is going to resonate with many people. I feel like this is a specific reading for some reason. Doubt on this card, it says. You're doubting something. Where do these waters actually go? So you're having this inner calling to kind of rebel against your own plan here. We're going to find out if that's the move you should make or not. Spirit's just kind of laying out what's going on. Okay, so what you don't see coming is the Queen of Air. This is the Queen of Swords. This is clarity, truth. That Mercury retrograde energy of all the hidden feelings and unspoken thoughts coming up to your conscious mind, being revealed, and you seeing the truth. That's the Queen Bee energy. That's the Queen of Swords. So let's see. Contemplation, 4 of Cups. Disillusion, apathy. Do I really want this? So tell me, Spirit, let's get a little bit more specific. What truth is it that Pisces is seeing that is getting them to question what they thought they were going to go forward with, or a certain relationship, or whatever it is for them? What is being revealed exactly? What are they seeing? What thoughts, hidden feelings are coming up? Again, it could be your own or someone else's. We have missing pieces, unmet needs, right? Missing, maybe it's not even that the puzzle pieces are jagged. Maybe they're just missing entirely. You couldn't even make it work if you wanted to because it's non-existent. At least with the jagged pieces, you could sand them or kind of force them in. And maybe people wouldn't notice that it's like kind of off. But if you don't even have the pieces, then the puzzle's going to remain incomplete. Okay? So something's missing in this vision that you've been, or this partnership or whatever is going on here. Power and control. Timeless, though we had time, right? Timeless. Hope and choices. It's definitely a crossroads for you. And there's still some hope here. There is some hope here. So maybe there is something you could salvage. Maybe those pieces can be found, or you can create the missing pieces yourself, or someone else can. There could be a possibility here, but there does seem to be an issue of power and control. What's that? Manipulation. Oof. Okay. Who's manipulating and what? Someone could be manipulating time, Maybe something's taking a long time, okay, or they're putting something off, or they're making things go fast. I don't know if something about time feels off. You can't establish a timeline in some way. Immaturity, Page of Cups. This is who's manipulating. Somebody who's immature. Could be you, could be someone else. Take it how it makes sense for you. Envy, irresponsibility. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You feel like you're going to have to shoulder all the responsibility because there's someone here who's irresponsible. And maybe you've given them a chance to get on their feet, to do the right thing, to take accountability, responsibility, all of that stuff, but they haven't done it. Immaturity, envy. Okay, and how are they manipulating this Page of Cups in reverse? What are they doing? Exactly. Law and order, King of Swords, discipline, authority. Well, this is the power and control. And ignorance, the messenger, unreceptive, disregard. This is a energy that's a little bit my way or the highway, but it's also like, I don't want to do things the way they should be done. You know, this Page of Cups in reverse doesn't want to listen to the King of Swords. They're immature. They don't value what it means to have a certain timeline or plan. This person is slippery maybe a little bit or hard to pin down in some way. There's a real lack of experience or ignorance this person has. They're lacking some kind of foresight, intuition, knowledge around something that you're doing with them. Okay, whether that's love, okay, or whether it's building a business. I'm not sure what it is for all of you, but they're kind of unreceptive to the authority you have and you bring to this enterprise. You know, you're saying, whoa, we're on this kayak, we're going down the rapids, and like, I can tell by the way the water's moving that we should go left and not right. Right is the waterfall, and left is going to be the calm waters. And they're just like, let's just see where the water goes. Or they're just like, well, maybe we should just put an anchor down, just sit here. And you're like, you can't do that. The current's going to take you. You know, so there's something you're offering, some kind of wisdom, authority, guidance, direction. Like, let's get things on track. Here's the plan. And they're fumbling, or they're just kind of freezing up, or actively trying to manipulate a situation by being unreceptive to whatever it is that you're saying. This is a really bad combo too. The King of Swords and in the upright, and the messenger in reverse. This is someone who really thinks they know it all or knows what they're saying, and they don't. Not at all. This is somebody who's a little confused, but does a good job hiding it. I don't know. So I totally get why you're feeling the way you're feeling, if that's the energy you're dealing with. So let's continue on with the reading and see. Your opportunity is the 8 of Fire. These are the rapids. This is the movement towards your adventure. Spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. Fast-moving energy. That's your opportunity. So you're not meant to really stagnate. Although there is some energy you're currently in that's getting you to pause and say, whoa, wait, what's going on here? That said, your opportunity is still to follow that calling in your heart towards adventure. But your adventure might just look a little different, or maybe something just needs to get dealt with right now. So let's see. The 8 of Fire for your opportunity. Wish come true. 9 of Cups. Gratitude, contentment, opportunity, Ace of Pentacles. Amazing. So not only is there a calling in your heart to go towards some adventure that's good for you, not the waterfall, the calm river, that's actually a little bit of an adventure for you here because you've been in the rapids for so long. Wait till you get to just chill out in the river and it's all calm and you can really do some exploration underneath the surface. Oh, interesting. Because right now you're on top of the water, on the rapids in the boat, trying to navigate everything, right? When you get to the still, calm water with the Six of Swords, that's when the real adventure begins and you get to go beneath the water into the imagination, into creativity, into the subconscious mind, into the intuitive realm, and discover all the things that are underneath because everything's calm on the surface. You see? And it's a wish come true. So someone's going to offer you something, okay? A career. Oh, I didn't even mean to say that. Okay, for some of you, it's a career, a job opportunity, an extra ticket to something. Go. There's something coming up, an offer, an opportunity. It's part of your adventure, and it's a wish come true for you. And it's coming quickly. You're moving towards it, and it's coming to you at the same time. And I feel like this is something that you're going to be very grateful for because it breaks up some of this more difficult energy, and it also will give you a perspective on what you really want here. It's something that's going to meet your needs. Address a core wound, survival. Ooh. These rapids, man, they're coming through. You've been navigating them for a long time, maybe all your life. There is this kind of feeling of being in a state of survival, which is why this sudden revelation or realization that something's off is so disappointing, and I just feel this sinking feeling in my chest. It's like a matter of survival almost for you. It could feel like that, right? Like, if this doesn't work out, then what? Well, there's something here. If this doesn't work out, it's going to be fine. If you do manage to work it out, it's going to be fine. There's still a wish come true and an opportunity. And this is the core wound that you're addressing right now. The bigger cosmic spiritual lesson of everything that's going on for you right now is for you to look at this core wound of survival. When was the first time in your life that you felt like you had to survive, like you were put in a position that felt life or death, whether it actually was or not? It could be emotional, psychological, or maybe even physical for some of you. Something felt like, I need to do what I need to do in order to survive. And that created this kind of wound of there's something about the unexpected, fearing the unexpected, being placed back into a survival mode. That's a core wound for whoever I'm connecting with today. So there's something here for you to work on when it comes to that, because there's a real opportunity here to thrive. Okay? And I don't feel like you're still in survival mode. I don't. You're doing just fine. But this little wrench or issue or big issue, whatever it is reenacting some of this core wound. Okay, so that's for some of you. If it doesn't click, don't worry. Okay, Elder of Water, King of Cups for the challenge. I just saw 3333 on the clock, on the timer. Okay, so maybe this goes back to the wolf and the password. King of Cups for the challenge, the obstacle. This is stable emotions, responding rather than reacting. Let's see. What do we got here? King of Cups. Well, how does the King of Cups deal with the Page of Cups in reverse? Let's see. What's going on here for the obstacle? Stagnation, death in reverse, fear of change, avoidance, the emotions that have been avoided, right? That's the obstacle. They're coming up. But I feel like you're owning them. You're not turning away from something. You're really looking at it. I do feel like you have a question. Am I scared? Like, am I feeling this way just because I'm scared of change? There is something you're picking up when it comes to another person and what they're ready for, not ready for, or how committed they are to something. They're immature on some level. Okay. And so I'm seeing divine faith, the unknown. You can go forward with this and hope that they catch up to you as the King of Cups, but you also might overextend yourself in the process. So I feel like Spirit's just showing you, like, hey, if you're going to keep going with this, this is a real thing that's going to be there that you're going to have to deal with. It could be this person that's fearful of changing. Okay, and whatever you're planning or moving towards requires some shifts and changes. Okay, your advice is the King of Swords, Elder of Air. This is knowledge, wisdom, intellect, courage, I'm hearing, which I don't often say with the King of Swords, although it is fire and air. So courage, truth as your advice. Don't betray what you know to be true. Don't betray your own truth, Convince yourself you're wrong when you're not. Let's see. Tell me more about the King of Swords for the advice. This is the law and order, right? Discipline, authority. We're not going down the waterfall, bucko. We're going to go to the calm waters. You coming or not? I can't swim there for you. You have to paddle too. Overextended. Right. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. You may already see that, hey, I'm going to have to pick up all the slack. Or I'm going to take all the flack for something. Like this is going to be on me. Someone's kind of put you in a position where you have some power and control in the situation, which could feel great, but also all the responsibility. The onus is on you. And I feel Spirit saying, you got to know that somebody's going to be dependent on you in a way where you always have to be the strong one, and your needs of getting to be the soft one, the one who needs help, who needs support, may not be met. Like this person may not be able to do that for you, or this job or this situation, they might not be able to reciprocate. And it says on this card, beyond means. Now, some of you might be thinking about going ahead with something that is beyond your means. And Spirit's really asking you to think about whether that's a good idea or not. There is some kind of opportunity here that's a wish come true. Can I say more about that? But I don't think it necessarily fixes the issue that we're dealing with over here, Light and grieve. It lightens up your grief around that opportunity, gives you back some energy, like, oh, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. This feels great. I'm excited. It gives you that balance that you really do need while you're navigating these difficult waters, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the outcome. I'm also going to do an extended reading. In the extended, I'm going to go a layer deeper. I'm going to see what's in the calm waters, what the waterfall might look like, which way are you going to go? If you're interested in that, the link is in the description box below. If you can't go to an extended, you don't want to go to extended, you don't like that idea, then trust Spirit already knows you and your soul and your higher self and gave you all the information that you personally needed right here. That's the way it works, okay? So your outcome is Page of Earth. This is very positive. This is a very positive outcome. This is a lesson that is being learned. Okay. And it's a core wound, core lesson. You know, this is something, this situation, what you're navigating now and the decisions you make are going to resolve some inner fears, I'm hearing. You're going to resolve some inner fear by navigating this situation in the way you are, consciously. Okay. So learning something new about your core needs, your core wounds. Tell me more about this outcome. It could also be the case that someone over here starts to step up. Let's see what we get. Ooh, providing, and it came out sideways. Queen of Buttons, caregiver, practicality. I feel like for those of you who decide to tow this person or this, whatever this, it doesn't have to be a person, this energy in their life jacket while you do all the paddling in the rapids, if you decide to go that route, which it really does feel like it looks like that, right? Then you scale it back, okay? You don't try to avoid every rock, every tough bump in the river just to make it easier for this person. You drag them over the coals a little. You drag them over the rocks and the boulders. Like, hey, if you can't get in this boat and paddle with me and you want to just be towed along in your life vest, you're going to have to deal with all this other stuff that I don't have time to think about. Okay? So it feels like you scale back and you make some adjustments so that it's not so hard on you. Okay? You put some ownership back onto whatever this is. Okay. And if this is at work, maybe you just don't give as much energy anymore, give as much help in areas where you really don't need to. You force someone to make a decision whether they want to get banged up along the way, riding your coattails or depending on you, or whether they're going to actually learn Page of Pentacles to get into the boat and paddle with you as a partner. Okay. For others of you, let me see. For others of you, subconscious, the moon, unpaid debt. Ooh. Slowing down, panic. I'm seeing, this is for a very small few of you. I'm seeing someone with a guilty conscience here. Feeling like you need to provide for someone or take care of or be the whole part and parcel because something in your subconscious feels like you have some kind of karmic debt to pay off. What do you want to say about that? Something is hidden. What's hiding? It's making you feel like you need to take care of this, that you need to overextend something. Revelation. You need to overextend yourself. Distract. There's something you need to work out here. I feel like I can't get much further into that. It's only for a few of you anyways. But if you're wondering what's going on here, why am I dealing with this? Well, there's some kind of guilt or something hidden in your subconscious where you feel you owe this person, or it's your job, or you'd be a bad person if you didn't help them, something like that. This is coming up to the surface. You've been distracting yourself from thinking about that for a while. But for most of you, there's a real understanding here of like, I'm not going to give everything. I'm going to scale back and conserve some of my energy and not take on all the work, all the responsibility. Okay, and I think that's a good choice as you move towards your own adventure. All right, Pisces, that's what I have for you. I hope that helped. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.